Yeah,
Everybody,
listen to
sure.
Miro at Boss to Boss. He started from the bottom, now he's here. And it's great to be on your show. And I think anyone who's like paying attention to this space, like I love entrepreneurs, I love people who are searching for more in their life and looking to have more, do better, be more. And I think that's like what shows like this are about. So thanks for doing the work you do.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boss to Boss. Haha, it's Miro We Slow here. That's Miro We Slow, like we are slow, though we really, really aren't. Of course, we're not. And you might see I got a change of attire today. Still rocking the Boss to Boss shirt, but you'll see this. My dirty 30. Oh man, I had to rock this hat today just because it's officially the episode post my dirty 30 and being away. I went to Nash Vegas, aka Nashville, and these were the hats that were given to me. Well, the rest of the squad, I guess, team had my dirty 30 crew or something. Probably won't ever wear this hat again, but figured it'd be nice for at least an episode. It was cool. It's something I talked about before. I had my 30th coming up, so I was like, in that quarter life crisis mode, right? Definitely not half life, like quarter life crisis mode, and just like realizing that, man, time actually goes by, and we are getting older, and that doesn't matter though. It shouldn't stop us. It shouldn't stop us from crushing it, having a good time, loving people, respecting people, being nice, being polite. We shouldn't forget who we are. If anything, we should become better people because we're older and wiser, right? As that saying goes. So, I'm just full of these cliche sayings today, ain't I? But yeah, I apologize for the late episode this week. I've been kind of set back. We got hit harder than ever with Hodgepodge, which for all you that know and that don't know, it's the business that I started with my business partner. It's an on-demand storage, moving, junk removal company where we donate, repurpose, recycle everything as much as possible. About 75-80% of items that we remove and that we reuse constantly. And we just got I guess the weather kind of picked up in Chicago, and it's officially coming up to end of May, and we just got like blown up. Like we were talking like 3 times the amount of what we're doing, at least double what we were doing last year, almost 3 times as much. So it's like, man, I just got hit so much harder, and I didn't have some episodes pre-recorded, so that's my fault, and I apologize to everyone. And then kind of being out of town for those few days also kind of set me back. I definitely needed a couple days. I came back more tired than relaxed, which does happen. I feel like when you go to certain places like Vegas, Nashville, Miami, I don't know. Sometimes I come back more tired than actually refreshed. So I guess it just depends. It was that kind of trip. I mean, it was a 30th celebration with a bunch of seven of us total that we went to Nashville, and I definitely came back more tired. So it was a combination of things, and just had so much on my plate. As soon as I got back Monday, late Monday, and then it's just like boom, 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 email, call, and how do you feel about that? Like, do you miss that? Or how do you feel if you're doing it right now, right? Like sitting there in the office. I remember it almost sent me back flashbacks, which was kind of scary to like the office life. Because I remember coming in on being away, let's say. Even though I wasn't really away. I took off Friday and took off Monday technically, though I didn't ever really take off because I'm still answering calls and making sure things are going all right. But, whenever you were on that long trip, that long vacation, at least a week, maybe 2 weeks, and you come back and you open up that inbox and there's like 80, 100, 200 unread messages. And you're just like, oh, like, you just want to stab yourself a little bit. You just realize that, like, it's going to be a long couple days getting through all this. And And yeah, that's kind of where I was. So it set me back. So I apologize. And at the same time, I kind of hit a rut as well. I, like I said, I mentioned in the previous episode, I got to figure out my priorities, what I'm going to do, what's going to be most important, which right now is Hodgepodge right next to Boss podcast. I'm doing both of these things full force. Hodgepodge is the one thing that's sort of keeping me like stable. Well, I'm not really paying myself much yet. Well, I don't know if I ever will be. I know we're gonna eventually do big things, and I'm not concerned about that. It's the risk you have to take when you start up a business. It's an investment. It's like any investment. But the Hodgepodge is sort of paying the bills, the little bills that I have, and kind of keeping me afloat right now. So I have to like focus on that as well as the podcast, just because I love doing it. It's such a passion thing, and all of you, all the listeners are here, waiting for episodes and waiting for awesome interviews that I love doing. I just thought about that today. I was like laying there in bed earlier in the day, one of those things, just kind of lounging around with a million thoughts going through my head, and one of them was like, what is the one thing that scares me, like that the one thing that I love more than anything? What is something, and I don't even know if I found that yet. I mentioned that before. I love the business. I love Hodgepodge. I love that we're giving back. We're trying to save the planet, trying to save things from being, thrown out, repurposing, recycling. We're really touching people, especially families that need to get started, and we're hooking them up with furniture items and pieces and clothes or things. And it means a lot. And I love meeting people through the podcast. But there's always like that itch, right? Like what else is there? Like, is there something that I'm so good at that it just comes naturally at all times? And interviewing's been a part of that. Like I thought about it. I was like, I still get antsy every time I do an interview. I've done probably like 100 interviews. Well, maybe not 100. Maybe. Because if you count my previous podcast, Love the Journey, bringing it back old school, I'm probably up there about 100 interviews or so now. And I still get that tingling feeling in my stomach. Like I'm still a little nervous. I still don't know how this one's going to go, what this person's going to say, what new things are going to be brought up to the table. Always got to think on my feet. Like always got to be prepared to just think of new questions, new answers, or what if they don't react pleasantly, or like, something just doesn't go right. There's a technical error. So that's pretty nice. Like it's definitely showing me that it's something that I'm maybe, I don't know if I love it. I don't know if that's the word for it. Like I love doing it. I hate throwing that word around, but it makes me feel like challenged. I guess that's a good word to say. 'Cause every time it's like, ooh, it's exciting. It's gonna be something new, and it's also why I encourage people to look into podcasting. Just because even if you're not killing it, even if you're not, you don't have the best episodes or best whatever show in the world, just interviewing people and meeting them, and how many of these people I could reach out to now just with anything. Maybe one day when I'm big in LA, I could reach out and have my little celebrity guest list, and it could be all my former interviewees and stuff. And it's just pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like I'm going to Thrive, which I can't believe is coming up already next weekend. And I just can't wait to see some of these individuals that I interviewed or that I connected through other online social media platforms, masterminds. Shout out to Travis Chappell and his mastermind, Build Your Network, who I've met. I can't even, like, just how many people I've met since I've got involved in the game of online connection. Is it a game? I don't know, but it's a platform, and it's so easily and readily available to every single one of us. Old, young, it doesn't matter. We have to take advantage of it, because the connections you can make through it across the world, and then obviously take it a step further when you see each other in person or whatever. Because no matter what, I still think in-person connections and contact is the most important thing. But at least you can make that initial contact. You can meet the other billions of people that are out there through the web, through online, and it's a beautiful thing. And kind of touching back and full circle with that, I'm burning out a little bit again. Like every time I do great for a period of a few weeks or a couple months, because I feel like I was back here a few months ago as well, I hit a burnout point again, and now I hit it again. I lost track, and I've been doing really good with working out, but then I kind of fell off the past week and a half, 2 weeks, and that's a part of it. So I know that it's working out. I know that there was some shit food in between here and there, but I'm still sticking on my gluten-free since October 1st. Gluten-free 100% of the way, and dairy-free like 95% of the way. But I know that for sure, meditation is off, working out is off. I know that those two things, they're so crucial. Having that time to yourself to process, think things through, and having that exercise, they are the things that keep me in balance through all the crazy, through my business, through the podcast, through the course that has been on hold, and I feel bad even talking about it right now, and because it's just something that I hope I find time to be able to do sooner than later. These are the couple things that I know for sure when I start doing them, everything else falls into place. So with that, I'm actually going to go out and do a nice bike ride because we finally got nice weather today in Chicago. So I can't wait to get out. Can't wait to get out with my fiance, maybe take the dog, put it in our basket. No, I'm kidding. The Moose, our dog, aka the Moose, he is not here right now. I could show him, but he is not here. He ran away. He didn't want to be. He's actually kind of shy. He's camera shy. I should get one of those baskets though. But yep, that's us. Pure millennials, huh? Either way though, yeah, I know I need to start doing those things. They'll get me back into balance, and I gotta prioritize like what's most important, what's not, and start knocking things out. I need to kind of get back on the boat, get back on the wagon, and it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done, but I think through support of friends and loved ones, as long as you reach out to people, as long as you make it known, like, hey, I'm going through a rough stretch right now, I could use some some help, they will make sure, you get back on it. Or at least they'll put a different perspective into you, and you'll be like, whew, okay, what the hell was I doing lately? So I guess what works for me is realizing those few things, like such as meditation or some time to yourself where you could kind of breathe, do some deep breathing, and working out is what gets me in my balance. What gets you in your balance? Are you still doing it? Are you doing it right now, and are you on top of the world? Well, then keep doing it. Find every way possible to incorporate it into your schedule. I recently, when I spoke to Hannah and Alyssa on the last interview, The Conscious Craft, which is an amazing interview, by the way. Hope you enjoyed it. They talked about having the reminders, on their phone, like 5 minutes every hour to breathe. Chug as much water as humanly possible. Just like simple things like that if you start doing, your day will change. Your day will, it's inevitable. It's the small little things, and they will change your day. So it's just a matter of finding the time, prioritizing, and getting that fire lit below your butt. Awesome. Well, I hope you all have crushed this week and are going to crush this weekend, and we'll be talking again soon. Boss to boss. Miro Wieslow, we out of here. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.